The first time I walked into the clinic, I felt nervous and tired. I had been dealing with a health issue for months. Something small but stubborn. Something that made everyday life heavy and uncomfortable. I was scared of doctors, scared of tests, scared of hearing bad news. But I went anyway, hoping for relief. That was the day I met Dr. Charles. He wasn't like other doctors I had seen before. He didn't rush, he didn't judge. He didn't treat me like a problem. He treated me like a person. His voice was soft but steady, the kind that made you breathe a little easier without even realizing it. He asked me questions, simple ones, but he listened to every answer as if it mattered. When he explained my condition, he didn't use complicated words. He spoke slowly, calmly, making sure I understood. For the first time in months, I didn't feel scared. I felt safe. Something about him stayed with me after that visit. His gentleness, his patience, the way he smiled when he said, "We'll take this one step at a time. You're not alone in this." That night, I thought about how strange it was to feel comforted by someone I barely knew. I didn't think too deeply about it. I just felt grateful, I just felt lighter. But I also felt something else, something small, like a seed planted quietly in the back of my heart. A feeling I didn't have a name for yet. A feeling that would grow slowly, quietly with every visit. The next few visits to the clinic felt different. I would sit in the waiting room, pretending to scroll through my phone. But really, I was waiting for one moment. The moment Dr. Charles would call my name. When he said, "Come in," I felt a strange warmth inside me, something soft and familiar. I wasn't used to people speaking to me gently. I wasn't used to someone noticing things about me that I didn't say out loud. He would ask, "Are you eating well? How's your stress level? Did the pain get worse this week?" Each time, it felt like he was asking about more than my health. It felt like he cared. Maybe he did, or maybe he was just being a good doctor. But my heart didn't know the difference. Some days he looked tired, tiny shadows under his eyes. Some days he looked brighter, more cheerful. I noticed everything about him, even things I didn't want to notice. There were moments that made my chest tighten, like when he leaned forward to explain something, and I could feel the sincerity in his voice. Or when he said softly, "You're doing better, I'm proud of your effort." No one had said something like that to me in years. The attachment grew quietly, like a candle burning slowly in a dark room. I didn't tell anyone, I didn't even tell myself. I just kept going back, appointment after appointment, feeling something I knew I shouldn't feel. But feelings don't ask for permission. They just happen to the wrong person, at the wrong time in the wrong place. And that's exactly what mine did. It was a rainy afternoon, when everything became clear. I had gone to the clinic for a routine checkup. Dr. Charles looked more tired than usual. His hair was slightly messy, his shirt a little wrinkled. But his eyes, those calm, steady eyes, were the same. He asked me gently, "You look tired today. Are you sleeping well?" And there it was, that warmth again. The warmth that softened everything inside me. Something inside me shifted, like a truth I had been avoiding finally stepping into the light. I liked him, not just as a doctor, not just as a kind human being. I liked him in a way that made my heart beat too fast and too slow at the same time. in a way that made me look forward to my appointments more than I should, in a way that scared me because it was impossible. But I didn't say anything. I just nodded and said, "I'm trying." He smiled, and it felt like sunlight had slipped into the room. That night I couldn't sleep him. I kept replaying every moment, every word, every small kindness he had shown me. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it didn't matter. But deep down I knew the truth. I had fallen for someone who didn't belong to me. Someone I barely knew. Someone I could never have. It was the kind of realization that feels like both a confession and a heartbreak. And I didn't know then how much more it would hurt. A week later, I saw him outside the clinic. I hadn't planned it. I was just passing by, walking home after running errands. The sun was setting, and the soft orange light made the street look peaceful. I glanced toward the clinic out of habit. That's when I saw him. Dr. Charles wasn't in his white coat. He was wearing a simple shirt, sleeves rolled up, looking relaxed and different, more himself. Beside him stood a woman. She was laughing softly, her hand resting on his arm. She looked gentle and warm, the kind of person who made you feel at ease just by being near her. And then I saw the baby, a tiny child, sleeping peacefully on Dr. Charles's shoulder. His hand supported the baby's back carefully, protectively. He looked down at the child with the softest expression I had ever seen on his face. They looked like a picture, complete. Calm, a quiet family moment filled with love. My heart stopped. Or maybe it fell. I don't remember how long I stood there, watching them. I don't even know if they saw me. I only remember the feeling, heavy, sharp, sinking inside my chest like a stone. He wasn't just unavailable. He wasn't just kind. He wasn't just someone I admired. He was loved, and he belonged to someone else. He had a world I was never part of. I turned away before he could see me. I walked fast. I didn't look back. And for the first time, I felt the full weight of loving someone silently. Someone who didn't know. Someone who didn't need to know. Someone who already had everything I wanted to be for him. The next time I visited the clinic, I felt different. My heart felt slow and quiet, like it was still recovering from something. I told myself to act normal, to pretend nothing had changed. But everything had changed. When Dr. Charles called my name, I forced a smile and followed him inside. He looked calm as always, kind as always, unaware of the storm that had happened inside me. "You're doing better now," he said gently after checking my reports. "Your progress is great." I nodded, "Thank you." "You've worked hard," he added. "I'm glad you're taking care of yourself." I wanted to laugh, I wanted to cry. I wanted to say, "You were the reason I felt better. You were the reason I tried." But I didn't. Instead, I said, "I couldn't have done it without your help." He smiled, warm and sincere. "That's what I'm here for." He didn't know what those words did to me. He didn't know that he had been the comfort I didn't even know I needed. He didn't know that he had healed me in ways I couldn't put into words. But he also didn't know that he was the wound too. When I walked out of the clinic that day, I knew it was time to create distance. I knew it was time to let go of a feeling that had no future. Some feelings are like that, beautiful, meaningful. but destined to stay inside your heart, never spoken. And letting go of them feels like saying goodbye to a version of yourself. Days turned into weeks, and my visits to the clinic became less frequent. My health improved. My body felt stronger, but my heart took longer to heal. I avoided walking past the clinic. I avoided thinking about him. But memories find their way back, especially the gentle ones. Sometimes I remembered his voice saying, "You're getting better." Sometimes I remembered the way he listened so carefully. Sometimes I remembered how safe I felt in his presence. But I always ended the memory with the image of him holding his baby, smiling with the woman he loved. That image kept me grounded. It reminded me of reality. It helped me let go. Slowly the ache softened. Slowly the feeling faded into something quieter, something almost sweet, a memory I could hold without hurting. One day I looked at myself in the mirror and realized something important. He had healed more than my illness. He had healed a lonely part of me. He had shown me what gentleness felt like. He had reminded me that I deserved kindness, sincerity, and care. And even though he could never be mine, he had left something good behind, a belief that I could feel deeply, that I could care, that my heart was capable of love. Now, when I think of him, I don't feel pain. I feel gratitude, because some people enter your life for a short time, but leave a long-lasting change. He was never mine, but he taught me how to heal, and that was enough.